Hello and welcome to an episode of SpiritualiTEAy. This episode is going to be a little different, a little impromptu. I still am in the series of understanding our resources, so we will talk about astrology in an episode coming soon. But for today, I felt really led to do a channeled message for the collective, more for the individuals. So if this resonates with you, you will know. But yeah, I just felt really led to do a reading. But before we get into that, I want to do the gift of gratitude. So 3 things that I'm grateful for. I am grateful for the gym. I feel like the gym is a place where I have found my strength, my power, and a place where I've also kind of gained more confidence and been able to exercise a little bit of my energy out of my body. So grateful for the gym. I am also grateful for knowing who I am and like standing on that shit. Like I used to waver and now I'm like, this is me. This is what I do. This is what I stand for. This is what it is. Take it or leave it, you know? And I'm kind of good either way. And I'm grateful for that, just that knowing of self. And I'm also grateful for being innovative and finding new and creative ways to get the knowledge and the messages that I have out of me to who they're supposed to go to, which is not my job to know, right? Like I don't need to know who the message is for or who this thing is for, who this piece of information is going to empower. I just need to get it out. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah, we're just gonna jump right in with these messages. Spirit and ancestors, thank you so much for giving me and whoever is watching this video another chance, another day to wake up and walk in our purpose. Thank you for breath. Thank you for all the abundance I have, all the abundance that is coming to me. Thank you for people trusting me. Thank you for the knowledge that I have. Any and all messages that you have for the collective. Any and all messages you have for the individual. I open to receive them now. Ooh. I'm going to leave this out because I felt led to leave that out. We have the King of Swords upright. Any and all messages that you have. Spirit and ancestors, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything. So we have the King of Swords. We have the Princess of Swords reversed. So it's like this, but this is what the card looks like. We have the Princess of Swords, the King of Swords, the 5 of Wands reverse, and the Knight of Swords reverse. This is so interesting that we're getting all of the sword energy. Swords are your action, how you go after things in the world. Considering that we are in Aries season now, so everything is about action. And yeah, so the King of Swords and the Princess of Swords, we got the King of Swords, Princess of Swords in reverse, 5 of Wands in reverse, and Knight of Swords upright. I'm getting a very clear, just go after it. You are building something, stop waiting for other people to recognize what you're building and just go after it. I think it's important to note that everyone wants to be on a moving train. So you just kind of sometimes got to go and know that people will get there when they catch up, pretty much. And if they don't catch up, that's on them. But you have to trust in what you're building enough to just go at it alone and to be all of the energy and all of the optimism and all of the faith that you need for yourself. Stop looking for other people to have this faith in you that you almost don't have in yourself. Sometimes we wait for other people to bet on us to feel more comfortable about betting on ourselves. This isn't that moment. The Princess of Swords says there are people who think that you're dreaming. There are people who don't believe in you, but you have to believe that you have the vision and the wherewithal, and this is within your range and your purpose to go after it. Now is not a time to continue kind of elaborating on this dream. You had all Pisces season to elaborate on the dream. You had Aquarius and Capricorn season to reflect on what your new dream is, right? So you had all of this time, and now is the time to be like, just go. Sometimes we stay in the visioning mode too long, and we don't actually take action. And we think that, oh, I'm just fine-tuning the vision, fine-tuning the dream. No, the fine-tuning happens when the boots hit the ground, right? Like, you can only do so much fine-tuning in your head. So now's the time to get out of your head and get on the ground. Do the work. What do I need to do? And also, this goes with that Princess of Swords, because we have the Five of Wands in reverse. This gives me a lot of overthinking energy. It also gives me a lot of people speaking doubt into your dreams, like a lot of just friction between your thought and other people's thought, between what you want and what other people say that you can have. Like, there's a lot of friction or lack of cohesion in that. And now is your time to just tune all that out and just go. I feel like we're in a very laser focused mode with the Knight of Swords. It's saying you don't have to know exactly the end game. That's not your job. Sometimes we stand at step fucking 1 and we refuse to go anywhere because we don't know what step 20 is. We gonna sit right here until we think about it, until we plan out, okay, I need to plan 1 through 50. Let me get my first 50 steps planned, and then I'm gonna move. And Spirit's saying, no, go and trust that whatever you need will come to you, and that all of the other steps will get worked out in the end. We can't even, so sometimes Spirit's like, you worried about step 20 and you ain't even taken step 1. And you want me to help you when you are still sitting in a very stationary place. When you're not moving, you refuse to move because you don't know. You're not supposed to know. That's the kicker. You're not supposed to know. And it's okay not knowing exactly all of the pieces of what you're building. Just know that you're building. And that as long as every step is a step forward, it is a progressive step, and it will get you where you need to be. But all of this dreaming, all of this listening to doubt, all of this listening to our own doubt or other people's doubt, like all of this mind stuff that we're doing isn't conducive to the actions we need to be taking. If you did not think it through by now, I don't know what to tell you. Because right now we're entering in a period where those who act get rewarded. It's not a time to just sit back and be non-active. And yes, non-action is a form of action. This is true, but also faith without works is dead. And that is also true. So if you are just sitting back, hoping on faith that like, okay, everything will work out, I'll figure it out, I just don't have the pieces yet. If you're sitting and being stationary out of fear, this is your sign to go. Fear is not rewarded. Fear is not rewarded. Now's your time to just go ahead and go after what you want. I'm also getting that this is someone who wants to start a service. I'm not gonna say a business because I don't want to get all capitalistic with it, but this is someone who has a service, who has something they want to offer a specific set of people in form of a service, and they are scared because they may not have the marketing, they may not know exactly how to reach these people, but they know this is my audience and this is what I have to help them. Just go for it. Just go. I'm like really urging you to just go, because now is a time to be in motion and know that the motion is going to pick up speed as long as you are in motion, right? You can't pick up speed on something that's not moving. And again, everyone wants to be on a moving train. So if you're wondering why people aren't supporting you, why you're like, oh my God, why don't I have, I know I have a good idea. I know what I'm doing is right, but no one's taking a bet on me. Have you taken a bet on yourself? Just curious. So yeah, it's a very clear message. I'm going to pull some of these Moonology cards. We have conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. And we have it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. Yes, get all that shit out of your head that's telling you you can't. Get all the stuff out of your head that's telling you that what you're dreaming is too big, or what you want to do is too grand, or you don't have the skill set for that, or you're going to need XYZ to help you. Like, get out of that. Step out of your comfort zone with the North Node. I want to talk about North Node energy in specific. North Node is your point of destiny. When you're operating in your gift and your purpose and what you're here for, you are going to be operating in the energy of your North Node, right? So when we're talking about this specific reading and this spread and the North Node, I feel like they go really well together, because whatever you've been dreaming, whatever you've been working through mentally, that now you're at the place where you can build on it, is kind of the energy of your North Node. And maybe if you need a little bit of help, this would be a good place to look, because I'm big into like birth charts. And your birth chart, I personally believe, is your blueprint to life. So go ahead and look at your blueprint, look at your blueprint and see where your North Node is, and see if maybe you can embody some more of that energy. For instance, if your North Node is in Cancer, which means that your descendant would be in Capricorn, your North Node is in Cancer, which means that your South Node, would be in Capricorn. You probably need to flow a little bit more and not be so structured, not be so rigid, not be so immovable with your dreams. Allow some flexibility, some malleability to happen there. In the area of flow. And also I want to say with the intuition, with a North Node in Cancer, it's more intuitive based and less logic based, right? So maybe just flow with your intuition. Trust your intuition. This would actually be a really good time, as you're betting on yourself anyway, to trust your intuition. The conclusions are within reach. Whatever you don't have that you feel you need to get started, you will find after you get started, right? Sometimes we don't use all the resources we have. We feel like we need more, and we wonder why we're not getting more. And then we have to sit back and realize, wow, I'm actually not using everything that I have access to, right? I'm only using what I may be good at, what I feel comfortable with. I don't want to reach out to these people. I don't want to sometimes we are blind to the resources that are available to us because we don't feel comfortable using them. And that's a us thing. That's not a spirit thing. That's not a I don't have enough resources, send me more thing. That's a I have tools that I'm not using because I don't feel like I can use them. Why? Right? Do I not feel like these are strong tools? Do I need to sharpen them? Like, for instance, I'd always wondered that about myself. Like, what I really, really, really wanted a social media marketer or social media strategist or someone just do social media because I don't want to do it, right? And I was wondering, like, why am I always hitting this wall? And then I realized it's because I have my own skills in content creating and whatever you want to call it that allow me to create and build something outside of needing someone else to just do it for me. So I've been exercising those skills more. And also I realized sometimes what we think we need from someone else, we need to work on within ourselves first. So when we do get that other person, we know if they're doing it right or wrong, right? Like, if we don't know shit about shit and we hire someone else to do it, who knows if they're doing it right? I feel like that's how we allow ourselves to be in vulnerable positions within our purpose, is when we don't even step out on a limb to try to understand this or to try to learn this skill or to try to do this thing. Sometimes that's all you have to do. Sometimes Spirit's just like, just get familiar, right? So when I bring you someone, they ain't gonna fuck up your shit because you gonna know what you're talking about, right? So sometimes that's just the case. That's what it is. Yeah. I'm glad I got this message out because it did feel like it needed to come out. Now now that we've talked about the overall theme and the overall energy, I'm gonna talk about step-by-step guides. I pride myself on making tarot practical. I feel a lot of times when people get readings, it's just a bunch of information that they actually don't know how to use in their life. And I don't really like to do that. When you leave me from this reading, you will have work to do. You will know what work that is. And it will be physical, practical, tangible work. So yeah, let's get into it. We have the Temperance card reversed, 3 of Pentacles upright, and the Wheel card. Things are spinning. If you feel like your luck hasn't happened, it's happening. I think what you need to ask yourself though is, where do I need balance? Where do I need to be a bit more harmonious? Where do I need to pull back or pull in? Where do I need to be more disciplined? Where do I need to kind of cut this behavior off at the knees and temper it a little bit? The Temperance card is all about the ebb and flow of something and not being out of flow with that thing, right? So if it's like, okay, I need to do a bit less partying and a bit more planning, that's the Temperance, right? That's like, okay, I'm balancing, I'm gaining some foot, I'm tempering my energy pretty much, really. So with the Temperance card, this is an accountability card, I feel like. With Temperance is like, what do you need to modify in how you live your life and how you show up and the lifestyle that you want and the lifestyle that you need for the things that you say you want. That's different. Sometimes we be asking for things and our lifestyle doesn't reflect what we want. And if we were to get the thing that we say we want, we wouldn't even be able to sustain it because our lifestyles are not in alignment. So if you're like, I want to be, I don't know, a scientist, right? How much of your time is devoted to learning new knowledge, to exploring new ideas, to actually doing some of the work or incorporating some of the lifestyle habits that someone who is a scientist would have, right? Also, if you are like, I want a healthier lifestyle, okay, are you disciplining what you eat? Are you being more mindful about how you spend your money and what your money is going toward? Are you developing a healthy, active lifestyle that suits your desires, right? And I'm not just saying the gym. I think a lot of people, they get healthy, they want to go to the gym. No, if you're not a gym person, it's not going to work for you, right? So are you implementing habits that reflect or withdrawing or pulling back on habits? If you're like, I want to be healthier, I may need to stop drinking every day of the week, right? Like I may need to temper that back a little bit. The Three of Pentacles is here to say the work that you do, what you get, and the change that's coming and the harvest that's coming is a direct reflection of the work that you've done. So if you've done no work, you can't get mad about the reward that you did or didn't get, right? If you're doing the work, then you know the reward is going to come. I just have to wait it out a little bit. Hold my vision. Don't give up too quickly. Sometimes when things don't happen on our time, we get a little frustrated. And that doesn't always need to be the case. The Wheel is here to say, like, what goes up must come down. Bad luck turns to good luck. There's a life, death, life of things. And that applies to everything. If you're in a season where things are dry, where you feel like you're in an emotional, physical, mental, financial drought, an oasis is coming. And this card is here to say that. But in the meantime, stop waiting just for the oasis. And in the waiting, say, what can I prepare myself for so when the oasis comes, not only can I enjoy it, but it will also be sustained and want to stay here. I think there's something to be said about the staying power of what we do and what we want. Does what we want have staying power? And when I say that, is your lifestyle set up to allow it to stay? I don't necessarily mean the actual thing itself. I mean you. What is your staying power gauge, right? So yeah, that was such a good message. I feel so strong about it. 5 of Pentacles, get some work done. And know that things are changing. Now's not a time to sit back and be passive. I do want to say that. Like, we're in Aries season. This is not a passive season. Once you kind of like get out there and use your energy and go after what you want and act on the thing, by Taurus season, you'll be able to temper a little bit, right? We'll be able to be like, okay, here's what worked, here's what didn't work, here's what I can keep doing consistently, here's what I need to adjust. Like, we have a little bit more room to sit back and be like, okay, now let's assess, right? Because we've started the thing. When we haven't started, we can't assess what we haven't done. So yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to enter your ear with these messages. I hope that they find you well and in high spirit, or I hope they find you when they need to find you, honestly, regardless of what energetic spirit you're in. But yeah, that's it. That is all. Again, my name is Peace. You can follow the podcast at SpiritualiTEAy, T-E-A-Y, on all podcasting platforms, and at Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to follow my personal page, it is Peace Be the Creative. To book any sort of private reading, birth chart reading, past life reading, career reading, whatever kind of reading you are looking for, you can go to my website, peacebethecreative.com. That is it. That is all. It is a pleasure giving you this message. We'll be back next week with an astrology episode. Till then, have fun.